Lance and Destiny Payton going through this whole dating thing on the show, and many fans were taken aback. Let me now share my true thoughts with you. I believe that Lance might have truly harbored affections for Destiny. He appeared sincere in his curiosity. However, it provided storyline from Destiny's point of view. She seems to be there more for a little reality TV spice than for a committed commitment. When Lance, a joyful father, blogged about his new kid, everything really took off. What father wouldn't do that now? You will share it if you are excited. When he did, however, Destiny said she was unaware of this child. To be honest, I think she's real. I believe Destiny was really unaware of the situation based on the manner. Nell and Lance discussed her, and if they owed her an explanation, she appeared caught off guard. And on this show, you can generally tell when someone is caught off guard. For this reason, I tend to believe Destiny is telling the truth. This is when things start to get interesting. Lance is discussing the amount of labor involved in raising this new child. And let's face it, infants are serious business. They require bottles, nappies, doctor visits, and they wake up at all hours of the night. Lance must get up early in the morning to take calls, meet with clients, and manage staff, because he owns and operates a construction company. For anyone, that is a lot. And he acknowledges that he is worn out, even if he is proud to have done it. He is emotionally, physically, and cognitively exhausted. And to be honest, it's a genuine moment because males rarely discuss how exhausting parenthood can be. This is where Nell enters the picture. In addition to offering her son support, Nell is prepared to make some significant sacrifices. She genuinely offered to spend 2 or 3 nights a week at Lance's place so that she could get up with the baby in the middle of the night. And Lance could sleep through and rest. That is next-level assistance, everyone. That's commitment. Nell even dismissed the possibility of her husband making fun of her frequent absences, essentially stating, "I've been married for more than 30 years. He will adapt." She took her commitment to prioritizing her son and grandchild very seriously. Here's the catch, though, and where we go further. If this had been one of Nell's daughters who was raising herself alone, would the same amount of effort and sacrifice be made? The question is that. We should continue discussing this topic until the end of the film, since it leads to a larger discussion regarding the disparity in treatment between single mothers and fathers. Let's go back to Destiny before we get into that. Lance owed her an explanation, she thought. And let's face it, you're going to have questions if you're casually seeing someone. And then all of a sudden they had a baby that you were unaware of. However, Nell quickly stated, "I owe Destiny nothing." She believed that Destiny and Lance weren't serious enough for her to be included in the talk. However, Lance later acknowledged that he felt he owed Destiny a talk even if he didn't owe her an explanation, even though Lance didn't think their relationship was that deep. It's interesting since it demonstrates that he understood why Destiny may feel a little taken by surprise. What about Destiny? She was straightforward. She claimed she never thought Lance was a serious person. It was informal. They went on a few dates, hung out, and had a good time, but that was it. She has no long-term goals in mind. Let's face it, if Destiny herself claims that it was informal, perhaps that is why Lance didn't feel compelled to inform her about the kid. It still feels strange, doesn't it? As though alerting her would have been at least polite. Let's now zoom out to examine the wider scene. People tend to think, wow, what an amazing dad. When a single father like Lance describes staying up all night with the child, rushing to the emergency room if the baby's stomach is upset, and then getting up early for work, watch him as he holds it down. People feel sorry for him. He receives recognition. He gains comprehension. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it either. He does. It's contributing to the challenges of parenthood. The question is, though, do single mothers receive the same respect? And since you've seen this happen before, I'm sure that many of you watching are nodding your heads right now. A single mother will describe herself as exhausted, overburdened, and under stress. What does she receive? Well, you laid down with him. A group of people said to her, "You ought to have been more aware." You can choose that. You handle it. People assume that a single mother's fatigue is simply a consequence of her choices. There is a difference in the empathy. Let me ask you this. How often have you witnessed people fall in love with a man simply because he is out in public with his child? Suddenly, a man pushing a prom and changing a diaper becomes the day's hero. However, it's just expected when a mother does those same things. No one is applauding her. No one is remarking, "Wow, you're incredible." 'Cause we've been socialist to think that's her responsibility alone. It's exactly what she should do. And for that reason, when Nell stands up so strongly for Lance, people take notice, because it is indeed lovely. It's kind indeed. It is supportive indeed. But if her daughter became a single mother, would she truly do the same for her? That is the unanswerable question. And pay attention, this is about more than simply Nell and Lance. This relates to a larger social problem. Consider this, because she is viewed as respectable. A married woman with children frequently receives extra support as well. Because her husband is present, people are more willing to assist her. Conversely, a lone mother faces criticism. She has a label. People act as though she caused her own problems. People are also ready to reply, "You chose this life," if she complains. A single father like Lance in the interim. He is suddenly viewed as a hero. He is regarded as admirable, strong, and selfless. Everyone swarms to give adulation. Women find it appealing when a man shows vulnerability, shares his difficulties, and develops a bond with his child. And once more, that is perfectly acceptable.